Hello, what is going on, everybody? So, welcome to the first video ever on the Sports Playground channel. So, we will be discussing sports on the weekly. We will be discussing football in the football season and baseball in the baseball season. And if there's a dry streak, maybe I'll even touch base on some basketball. So, today's main talking points are going to be on Eli Manning, if he's a Hall of Famer or not, the Super Bowl, and who's going where in free agency. So let's start with Eli Manning. So when you look through his career stats, he played for the Giants his whole career. Didn't do bad. He did a great job just filling the spot, getting the job done every week. And they had some really impressive playoff runs, beating the Patriots in 2007 and 2011 in the Super Bowls. But the question is that enough to get him into the Hall of Fame? So personally, I think it's not, because when you look at his career stats, if you're just a stats guy, like I'm a very big stats guy, he was mainly an average quarterback, just middle of the pack every single season, except for 2011. That was when he was considered a top 5 quarterback. That one season, especially in those last few games in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl, he was really impressive. He did a great job. But I don't think he's going to make the Hall of Fame. Maybe the thing that'll get him in is the Manning name, but I don't like that. If he gets in because of the Manning name, that is going to annoy me. I think he doesn't deserve it. And yeah. Even though he spent all those years just doing a great job of fielding the starting quarterback position, he got the job done, and that's really, I think, what the Giants were looking for when they traded for him early in that draft night. So, that is that. I'm going to have to edit this part out because I got to come up with, I got to transition, Whatever, that's what editing's for. So, next, we're going to talk on the Super Bowl weekend. So, as you guys probably, and I'm not going to assume that you do know, we've got the Chiefs versus the 49ers. So, mainly, based off of what I saw from the AFC and NFC championship game, so the 49ers have been probably the most dominant team overall this whole season. They've done such a good job of just surviving injuries and going through everything, beating good teams even when they were doubted all season. And Kyle Shanahan has proved that he can play with just about anyone. I mean, take Raheem Mostert, a guy who nobody knew at the beginning of this season, a guy who was completely unthought of. Then, when Jerick McKinnon goes down again and Tevin Coleman is struggling, out of nowhere comes Raheem Mostert, taking on the job and getting it done. He did so well in the past few games. He's just, honestly, in this last half of the season and the playoffs, he's just run all over teams. I mean, 220 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Packers, who have a great pass rush and a great run-stopping inside line, even though they have struggling linebackers. Their defensive line is very good. So I was shocked that he was able to get past that Packers defensive line so easily for so many yards. And the Chiefs, they've got Chris Jones, and they've also got Frank Clark. But can their linebackers take on the job of taking down Raheem Mostert? Because we're not really sure about the situation with Tevin Coleman after he got injured in that game against the Packers. Maybe he'll be ready and maybe he'll be good to go and do well. And maybe Raheem Mostert will once again get the heap of the carries. And on the Chiefs side, you've got a Chiefs team who can come back from any deficit. You have got to be able to run the ball on them, which I think the 49ers are capable of. So, but you saw how Patrick Mahomes was able to lead his team back from a 24-0 deficit, take the lead and win 51-31. He did so much in that game. He had so many rushing yards, so many passing yards. He showed that he is truly a dual threat quarterback, even though most people don't consider his running game, which is crazy in my opinion, because I always knew he had that ability to be a running quarterback when he wanted to be. So, and they dominated the Titans the week after they beat the Texans, and for the first time in 50 years, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, they have taken the Chiefs to the Super Bowl, which is amazing. But the problem is, can the Chiefs also lock down Jimmy Garoppolo? They have some injuries on the back end in the secondary, and Tyrann Mathieu is a star, but is he enough to stop Deebo Samuel, to stop Emmanuel Sanders, to stop Dante Pettis? And can he do it is the question. Can he rally the rest of the corners out there? Can he rally Rashad Breeland? Can he rally everybody out there? Now, Juan Thornhill, he was playing great, but he went down and got injured earlier in the season, leading to them having to bring in other corners, and, they had to bring in Daniel Sorensen, who did not play that. Don't get me wrong. He played great against the Texans, made a lot of big plays, but can he handle the Super Bowl lights? But also, can the Chiefs offense, can they be just too overpowering for the 49ers defense, which I really think they will. I think they're going to be very overpowering, that Tyreek Hill, he's going to be double covered, but that's going to leave people like Travis Kelce wide open. He's going to be wide open no matter who's covering him. It could be Dre Greenlaw, it could be Fred Warner, it could be any one of their linebackers, it could be a corner, it could be a safety. He is going to be wide open. He could set a record in the Super Bowl for all I know. He could. He really could do it. I think that's how wide open he'll be. And if they can get Damian Williams going, they could take some pressure off of Patrick Mahomes, and they're not going to need to pass it as much, which is great. Patrick Mahomes needs a rest every once in a while. He's doing a lot. He is doing a lot. So, also, there's also Mecole Hardman you got to cover. That is another quick guy, and he can compete with Tyreek Hill when it comes to running down the field. They've got faster 40 times than most of the league. They are probably in the top 5% of the league. And I'm pretty sure Tyreek Hill's in the top 1%. So, now, moving on to the free agents. We've got people like Derrick Henry, who's just a wrecking ball through the last 8 games of the seasons. Over 1,200 yards in the last 8 games of the season. That is something else. And he just did so amazing. He was unstoppable. So many yards this season, and he just tore it up. He did such a good job. But the question is, will the Titans re-sign him? And I think they will. That's the right move. Another person who's probably going to get re-signed, Drew Brees, is also on the market. I see him getting re-signed. As well as Tom Brady. I think he is not staying with the Patriots. Robert Kraft either is going to try and coax him into retirement, which I don't think he's going to be able to do that. And he's not going to, because I don't know if he wants to make a deal with Tom, and I know Bill Belichick doesn't. Bill Belichick wants to move on, get a young quarterback, and get this dynasty restarted. So, everyone's saying that the most likely place for Tom is probably the Chargers, and you know what? I think so too. I think that's probably where he's going to end up. He's probably, if he doesn't do good enough, they're going to put in Tyrod Taylor, and that's going to be it. That's going to be it with him. And Phillip Rivers, where's he going to go? As he's moved to Miami to be with his family, but could that be a foreshadow of where he's going this offseason? Could he go to a Florida team? We don't know. But he's officially moved out of San Diego, which is big news, I guess. I kind of disagree. I don't know if it means anything. But I think the team that might be in need of a quarterback that he could go to is probably someone like the Patriots. The Patriots might want him. The Patriots might not want him. It depends on what Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft come up with this offseason. other guys. You've also got people like, right, we're gonna pause the recording right now. I gotta find more guys. I want more people on here, gosh dang it. So it is paused. So some more players. We've got players like Robbie Anderson. We've got Chris Harris. We've got AJ Green, all out there. We've also got Amari Cooper. He's out there. Those are guys that all are out there, and teams who need wide receivers, teams who need corners. I mean, so I'm a big Eagles fan, and the Eagles are kind of in need of a little bit of both. So I'm hoping that they could get them, and I think that the 49ers are going to re-sign Emmanuel Sanders because he's shown a lot this season with the 49ers in just half a season, how he matches up with Jimmy Garoppolo and his chemistry and everything, and how it's just all great. Everything has looked great between him and Jimmy Garoppolo. Also, Melvin Gordon, a guy who is still on free agency, even after holding out at the beginning of the season for a contract extension. He said he wants to play with the Chargers for his whole career, and I think he's going to be begging the Chargers for a contract, and the Chargers are going to probably let him go if he's asking for too much money, which they've already shown that they're willing to do so. And also, there's players like Austin Hooper, who people probably aren't thinking about as much. He's been the Falcons tight end, and he's performed very well, catching passes from Matt Ryan out in Atlanta. Excuse me. And also, a lot of Patriots players. Just to name a few, you've already got players like Tom Brady, who's going out on the market, and you've also got players that have been there for a long time, like Devin McCourty, are going to be out on free agency. And anyway, I think that'll do it for today's video. Thank you for watching. I'm Mason Reshitar. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.